candy was only slipped into Halloween in the late 60s to cover up for the razor blade shortage. Wait, that's The Onion. That's not true. All right, every single month I do a fundraiser to keep THORnews up and running. If you'd like to contribute, I got a mailbox, PayPal, Venmo, CashApp, Patron, and only $1,187 left to raise for my November 2021. Hey, it will be the 9-year anniversary of THORnews fundraiser. All right, I've had a super duper rough week. Technically, the whole month was rough. And in honor of the Halloween that everyone is having today, this is the super duper spooky doom news. Usually I'm an optimist and upbeat, but for this occasion, I will be covering the doom news and not being so optimistic. As we all know, volcanoes have been going wild, and that shows no signs of stopping in the near future. Smoke them if you got them. Usually I'd be like, oh great, we have a Christmas comet coming, but because this is doomy news, oh my god, we have a Christmas comet coming. The last comet we had was Neowise. Was that at the end of 2019, the start of 2020? And some people say comets are harbingers of doom. So, oh no, do we have another major harbinger of doom coming? I don't know. Probably just barely be a binocular comet, but who knows, man? Comets are like Dirty Cat, Snowball, Sun Dragons, where you never really know what they're going to do next. But keep on the watch out for this one. I don't know where I'm going to go when the volcano blows. There was major flooding in Sicily earlier this week, and there has been a lot of major flooding in Europe. Here was some interesting video of that situation. Everybody's super duper stressed out and frustrated across the nation and across the world by the coronavirus, or means to quell the coronavirus or stop it. Like, everybody's just on edge all the time. And now it appears we are plateauing and flatlining, but hopefully it'll go away by 2022. I'm sorry, in 2022. But if we're going to be doomy, then you can be part of the people who are like, it's never going away. Hey, electricity generators are burning coal faster than miners can dig it out of the ground. That's doomy. Who would have guessed into the future with this many, tech billionaires that we'd still be running on coal? Gun violence is rising across the country, and 2021 is on track to see a record number of gun deaths. Crime is across the board, as people are having a hard time communicating and dealing with each other. My solution for shit like this is everyone calming down, seeking peace, and staying cool. But nobody's really buying into that. Everything is spooky and doomy all the time. Wave after wave after wave. See, like, I'm in the middle of part 2 of the doom spookiness, and I'm already thinking, dude, just hang in there. Things are going to be better. The spring of 2022 is going to be much better than the last 2 years. And just a reminder, winter's coming, so, buy a generator if you can afford it. Texas. Like, the whole week they came out with a bunch of ideas on how to tax billionaires, but then they gave up. And we're like, yeah, we tried nothing, and we're all out of ideas. Hey, man, it's the plutocracy going into the 1-year birthday, Pluto birthday of America. Microsoft is insane, says the stalwart. 17 straight quarters of double-digit revenue growth. And if anything, growth has been accelerating lately. Yeah, Bill Gates has been killing it. For sure. And, it is interesting to notice that Pluto went into Capricorn in 2008, and in 2008, it was all bricks and mortar businesses. And by 2011, Apple and Microsoft were pretty much head of the class. And we have been in a digital age, digital world since then. It's almost like they sucker punched us. They told us that, like, the age of Aquarius was going to be all peace and love, when technically it was just going to be cold, calculating digital domination that divide and conquers the people. We live in a crazy time, man. Lisa Abramowitz. Here's an economics chart that shows why supply chain disruptions may last a while amid the ongoing global pandemic, especially for retailers, computer distributors, and car manufacturers. The just-in-time model means missing even one component can interrupt production. And as I've been saying, November and December are probably going to be pretty dang rough months. So kind of stock up on an extra month or two of groceries if you can, and just get mentally, physically, spiritually prepared for just a bunch of disruptions and wildness and wackiness, and who knows what's going to happen next, man. But, you can see you've got a lot of problems. And it's not just in the United States of America. It is across the globe. And after taking care of yourself, your family, your friends, and your pets, if you'd like to kick some over to THORnews, it would be greatly appreciated so I can get ready for the winter. Search Go Volcano, the Kuril Islands in Russia. Their volcano is popping too. The German economy minister, Altmaier, says hundreds of thousands of cars can't be built at the moment due to microchip shortages. Also, power grid problems are happening across the globe, not just in the United States of America. Many other places are having, where they're like, hey, people are using too much electricity, so we got to load shed. We got to shed our electricity loads, man. It's so crazy that the power grid is so bad this far into the future. It was kind of a big story. Like, one of the nights I was up, it was like 4 a.m, and then General Miley, a chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff, confirmed our scoop on Bloomberg, where he came out and he was like, at 4 a.m, he was like, what we saw was a very significant event of a test of a hypersonic weapon system, missile. I don't know if it's quite a Sputnik moment, but I think it's very close to that. It has all of our attention. This was from, and he had already told us this in the 16th, that China had stunned our U.S. intelligence and military officials by testing a nuclear-capable hypersonic missile that traveled through low Earth orbit in space, making a full circle around the globe before speeding towards its target. And hypersonic means faster than the speed of sound. And it is just weird to watch the tensions between China and the USA and then Russia and the USA continue to escalate. And one of our main missions for the next 6 months will be avoiding World War III. And then you had, major inflation and then volcanoes and all the shiz happening. Doomy, man. But yeah, Richard James Brown showing us, check out all the ash. These are rooftops, man. These are houses buried under the volcanic ash in La Palma. Yeah, it is definitely crazy days indeed, man. Only through the grace of God it is which I move forward. Yeah, they had a proposal to tax unrealized capital gains of billionaires, but that proposal lasted about a day. So how has your October been? How was your last week? What are you doing to prepare mentally, physically, and spiritually for November? Yeah, just showing again that the floods in Sicily that happened this week were pretty dang bad, man. Pretty dang bad. People have long talked about the Achilles heel of China is actually the food, because you got to feed your billion people. Tracy Alloway, China says it's clamping down on vegetable hoarding after produce prices surge. The wholesale index jumped 12% in one day alone, while the cost of cauliflower and broccoli is up 50% over the last month. Russian rocket heading to the ISS. Speaking of Pluto, plutocracy, Lara. So here's the dark side of Pluto, as illuminated from its moon Charon. Interesting. Pluto, you're always interesting. You're such a mystery, buddy. People kind of losing their minds across the board in all ways. No end to the difficult year of flying, says David Shepardson. Just in, American Airlines say coast-to-coast flying just diverted to Denver after passenger physically assaulted a flight attendant. People are going crazy, man. Part of me thinks it's like they ate edibles and got on a plane and then freak out, but that's probably just a lame excuse I have. Gas stations ration petrol in China as they have a diesel shortage. Just days before Meta was rolled out, somebody put a gigantic bronze statue of Harambe, the gorilla who was shot dead at the Cincinnati Zoo in 2016, in front of Facebook's headquarters, but then they got Harambe out of there. On the 28th, Moscow shuts down essential services across Russia for 11 days to combat the surge in infections. Steve Matthews asks, if U.S. inflation is caused by too much fiscal spending and easy monetary policy as opposed to COVID-19 and supply disruptions, why is inflation also booming in Europe and Latin America? Half of the country seems to be super duper freaked out by the phrase, let's go Brandon, which, I don't know, man. I think it's not that big a deal, bro. If people want to chant, let's go Brandon, let them. And it almost has a sense of humor. Potential hazard type, people not having a sense of humor and just being a weenie, I guess. Supply chain disruption hits Canada's emergency maple syrup reserves. True story, even though people don't believe it. Deepest earthquake ever detected struck 467 miles beneath Japan in 2015 in the layer of our planet where scientists have long thought earthquakes were impossible. It's kind of doomy and gloomy. If the earth is changing that deep in the core, who knows what's coming next? Egypt is having to turn to Citigroup to help manage its surging costs for food. And yeah, dude, earlier this week, Mark Zuckerberg changed the name of the Facebook corporation to Meta, although Facebook is still named Facebook. And then he's unraveled and unrolled some super gaming world to where you can be in your own metaverse. And I don't know, have you ever seen the HBO show called Silicon Valley? It's a sitcom comedy. Highly recommend it. They did something almost exactly like this during that. There's a weird trend in the UK where men are coming up to women and jabbing them with needles and drugs. That's just weird, dude. I don't know. The world keeps getting weirder. Hey, lava bombs. The volcano is just blowing out chunks of rock. Lava rock. Lava bombs, man. Jupiter's Great Red Spot is far deeper than we realized. Earlier on the 28th, somebody meta-fingered Bitcoin. Had a big drop, but then big pop. Yeah, it's definitely strange times, man. Definitely strange times. Although Google's alphabet, so that would be mana. Oh. This is like double creepy. There's a Squid Game cryptocurrency, and it's up nearly 2,400% in the last 24 hours, but this was the 28th. And hey, remember when that solar flare / actually coronal mass ejection was supposed to hit us in the face like yesterday? And I was like, I don't think it's going to be that big a deal. Technically, it was dud. But yeah, it's a weird world after all. But seriously, think of how much of the world has changed since Pluto entered Capricorn in 2008. China put out a press release saying the USA is actually the one hacking everybody. Oh, okay. What if China created cryptocurrency and then banned it, but first while mining it all up just to attack the US dollar? It's an interesting thought because China did the majority of all the mining up until that they banned it. They did 75% of it, and then they banned it, and then now we got to deal with it here in the USA. But yeah, there's been an increase of China and the USA jousting with satellites, man. Hackers and ransomware and threats like that through the HTTPS hyper transfer titular protocol system have grown more than 314% through 2021. All right, and somehow my internet, or this part, the Google, is not working. Can't hit anything. And so I guess I'm gonna wrap part 2 up. What the hell? Well, it's almost cute that just after a hacker report now I can't do anything. Okay, so if you would like to, it's THORnews fundraiser season for November. If you'd like to contribute, I got a snail mail, PayPal, Venmo, CashApp, Patreon, and only $1,187 left to go. You guys have been incredible, and the last few years have been rough. So I would just like to say thank you again to the Texas Angel, the Wizard of Oz, Alexis, Lauren, Richard, Barbara, Glenda, Arnica, Lightsoul, Dan, Marlita, Brian, and KJ, and Max. You guys are all awesome. And all of Asteroid Fight Club, I super appreciate you. And if somehow October was the last month of THORnews, Thank you for one wild ride. All right. God bless everyone. Stay cool. I will talk to y'all in the near future. Hang in there. Have hope. It's not over yet.